Hi there, I'm Grandma Neal. The program you're about to see shows a typical day for the children in my neighborhood who visit me at Grandma's house in Chehalis, Washington. These children are not actors, they're just being themselves as I let you peek inside our doors. What a joy it is to see them learn of Jesus for the very first time. Come on inside now and enjoy a little visit at Grandma's house. Hi there, kids. Come on in. We're making cooking today, aren't we? Cooking bread. I have my favorite recipe book here. This is an old-time book. As you can see from the pages, look how marked up they are. You can tell that that's my favorite recipe. And you know, the Bible's a lot like that, too. You can tell my Bible which verses are my own and the ones I love the best because those pages are a little more wrinkled and some of them are marked up, too. You know, the Bible tells us how to live our lives. And this recipe book tells us how to make bread, right? But today we thought it might be fun to see what happens if you throw the recipe book away and you don't follow the rules. So we're going to make some bread. Right, Katie?
Uh-huh.
All right. I'm going to show you all the ingredients that I like to go into bread. But I'm not going to tell you how much. And you get to make your own loaf of bread. Won't this be fun, guys? Okay, flour, of course. I use some of the white flour. I use some rye flour. I use some whole wheat flour. I use some oat flour. And I love to mix the flours together because what's not in one grain is in another. Then I like to put in a little bit of flaxseed. We have some soy milk. We have some cooking oil and salt and yeast. I think that's plenty to go into bread, don't you? All right then, what we're going to do is we've just closed the book and now we're going to have fun making bread, okay? Here we go. What do you think, Katie? Where are we going to start? We're going to start with flour? Sounds good to me. Dump it in. Remember, we're going to be wild and crazy. Some of this and some of that. Should I start stirring?
You don't need to stir yet.
I don't need to stir. Okay, that sounds good. So we're done with this stuff. Good job. What haven't we used yet? Well, Katie's bread's in the oven. We're certainly going to have a surprise with this bread, aren't we? It's wonderful bread, Katie. While her bread is cooking, I'd like to show you a little treat that my mom used to make for me. It's called a Voctandana. And this is some bread I already cooked earlier, so I'm going to show you how this works. It's very tricky. You see, you have a loaf of fresh bread, okay? Then you wrap a towel around it, like this, and then you hold it like this. Okay? Now the trick is that we want to get a really thin slice of bread, so thin you can almost see through it. But you don't want it to fall in half or any of that, so you have to make a good balance between really, really thin. First I'm going to cut the heel off here, because that has an end on it, so that doesn't count. So this is what we do. Now we've got a good place to start from. And before we cut the bread, we have to put butter on it. You want to do that, Katie? Put butter on the end of the loaf? There you go. Now my job is, after she gets all the spread on there, that I'm going to cut the end of the loaf and see how thin a slice I could get. I can smell her bread now. You know, when you don't follow the recipe, sometimes we just don't know what we're going to get, do we? Life is like that too, huh? If you don't follow the recipe for life, you could end up with something you didn't plan on. Okay, are you ready for this? Now, when it comes off, you need to get ready to catch it. Okay, because I'm going to try to cut it.
But with butter on it?
Sure. And then you can taste. Okay, I'm going to do the very best I can. See, this is the challenge. Oh my. And I got to be very careful. Ooh, look at, come on. Oh. Okay, now move your hand down a little bit so I don't catch you with the knife. There you go. Now flip it over. Taste it. See how good it is. Oh, this was so much fun when I was a girl. You know, I smell bread again. You think we ought to check on your bread?
If you want to.
If I want to. You know, I think I should, because I see some funny colored steam coming out of the oven. I think we should go look, don't you? Let's take a check on it. If you'll stand back just a little bit, Is it good? What do you think? Not bad, huh? That's a great treat. Okay, let's take a look in the oven and we'll see how her bread's coming along. Come on over here and take a look. Okay, Shmuel. Whoa! Oh, it's cooking. It's cooking good. Should we pull it out and take a look? Let's see.
Looks done to me.
It looks done to you?
Kind of.
Kind of. Well, the flour looks done. It's not quite done. It's still too soft. Careful with your finger. Should we put it back in for some more?
First let's take some of the flour off.
And how would we do that without getting burned?
The vacuum?
The vacuum? Well, why not? Let's get the vacuum. Oh, you should see this.
Fun.
Isn't that fun? See, there's more ways to skin a cat than you ever knew. Okay, we ready to put it up on the counter? Grab that in and I'll take this side. Okay. There we go.
It's pretty light.
Okay, what do you think of our bread? Looks pretty interesting, don't you think?
Kind of ugly.
Kind of ugly? Well, let's take it out of the pan and see what we can do. Let's try to make a slice of bread. You think? You ready to try it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if we can... Oh, my. Well, okay, back over.
Can I cut it?
All right, you cut a slice of bread.
Which end?
Either end, let's see. It's very soft bread, I'll have to say that. What do you think? You want to try it?
Stick.
Yeah, let's try it. Go and taste it.
You try it.
Oh, you try it.
Yeah.
Is that good? See what happens when we don't follow the recipe. Can I have a little taste?
Sure.
Sure, okay. Well, I have to say it's quite interesting. I'll say that. This is interesting bread.
I'm just gonna cut
Thank you, Katie. Tell you, while Katie's cutting up the rest of the bread, I'd be glad to give you my address. I'd love to hear from you. You know I do. So if you've got a pencil and paper ready, here it is. Write it down.
Hey kids, Grandma Neil would love to hear from you. She loves to get pictures, drawings, and anything else you may want to send her. She also answers each one of your letters, so get your pen ready and write down her address, okay? If you want to write her a letter, address it to Grandma's house, Post Office Box 220, West Frankfort, Illinois, 62896, USA. That's Grandma's house, P.O. Box 220, West Frankfort, Illinois, 62896, USA. Grandma also loves to get emails at grandma@3abn.org. That's grandma@3abn, that's the number 3 and the letters abn.org. She'd love to hear from you.
Phew, the kitchen is finally clean and shiny again. I love having kids bake with me and then getting to eat what we've made. What things do you like to cook? Do you make the same kind of bread that we made today? When I was young, my mom made bread every week, and sometimes she made cinnamon rolls for special treats. When they were still warm, I loved to grab one of them and share with my best friend next door. I wonder, did you notice my cookbook today? I use it often, and it looks like it. The pages for my favorite recipes have the most stains on them. Some of the pages are coming loose, and I've made lots of notes here and there to myself. You need a good cookbook to learn how to make great food. It takes time before you know just which ingredients taste good when they're blended together. When you're learning, you need a book to teach you how to stir and mix and bake. You need to know how hot to cook it, and you need to know for how long. My old recipe book has taught me many things about making good bread. I was thinking today how much life is like making bread. If you want to make good bread, you have to put in good stuff. Well, if you want a happy life, you have to be just as careful to put in only the good things too. That's why I have this book in my library. I use it every day. You see, it's very much like a recipe book for life. It's called the Bible. Let's say somebody doesn't have many friends. What do you think they should do? Well, look right here in the book of Proverbs, chapter 18 and verse 24. It says, "If you want friends, you must be friendly." And it promises that there are friends out there who will stick closer than a brother. Back here, it says that a friend loves at all times. That means that if somebody's nice to you only some of the time, they're not a true friend. Over here in Proverbs 27:6, it says, "Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful." What does that mean? I could tell you what I think, but I would much rather have you think about it and decide for yourself. A good way to do this is by asking God what He meant. After all, the Bible is God's Word. You could also ask someone else who loves the Bible to tell you what they think. But if you do, be sure to ask several somebody else's. Don't take just one person's thoughts as your own. Do lots of research before you make up your mind. Another good way to understand the Bible is to just start reading it a little bit every day, always asking God first to help you understand it. Will you do that? And when you think you know what this verse means, would you write and tell me? I can't wait to read what you have to say about Proverbs 27:6. Oh, look at the time again. I have enjoyed your visit, but it's always over too soon. I love being able to talk to you like an adult. You are so smart and able to figure out hard things. It's just plain fun to be with you. Till next time, remember, you make my heart happy, and I love you.
My bread. My bread, that turned out squishy. I didn't really like it. But good thing that my friends at school don't know that because I'm giving them some. Well, I think I added a little too much oil and honey and sugar. It just tastes kind of sweet. It's just a little too weird.